And one thing you got to remember is at the weigh-ins, Edwards very dismissive of Sevrovsky. Got in his face, was pretty disrespectful up there. Now he's got a chance to back it up.
What's your reaction when you see a guy carry himself that way?
They're either really secure or really insecure. It's one or the other. Fighters put pressure on themselves. I mean, that's what a lot of people don't understand. I mean, there's media pressure, there's pressure from outside the fans. But you put pressure on yourself with how you behave outside of the cage. You increase the stakes either way.
An example of a guy who uses his reach extremely well, and maybe someone who doesn't.
Someone who uses his reach extremely well. Well, let's go for a guy who got hurt tonight, supposed to be on this card. MVP has a great understanding of range, great with his lead tools. He knows exactly where his opponent is. I would say Liam McGeary is an example of a guy who doesn't do it well because he likes to brawl so much. He tends to step forward and negate his own reach advantage. He doesn't make fighters come to him. Kendall Grove, once again, such a brawler that he doesn't use his range effectively. His last couple fights, he's been much better with that. We saw against Joey Beltran, he looked like a boxer using that lead jab. But for a lot of his career, I want to move forward and bang, even though I'm 6'6", and guys can't get to me.
Wow, using it.
And Edwards so far backing up the disrespect. Doing a great job. Sevrovsky, no answer right now for the range attack of Edwards. Great stuff on the feet from him.
Fabian Edwards just 24 years old. Sevrovsky late to the sport.
Sevrovsky hasn't really sold out for a takedown yet. Dove in for that doubling, tried to get the body lock. Here at the outside, he's getting teed off on.
If he rushes in, the knee is there. Speaking of MVP.
And there's, he's rushing in. Once again, surprised he didn't do that earlier, but he knew he'd do it eventually. So that powerful build helps him.
So disappointing when Michael Venom Page got hurt because that was such an intriguing matchup. And there were a lot of people starting to climb on that. Well, this would be the first loss bandwagon. Derek Anderson could be that guy because of the style.
Incredibly dangerous. Oh, look at that by Edwards, holding the wrist and landing the knee.
Don't see that often.
This is target practice.
The knee. Good night. That was spectacular. Fabian Edwards says, you don't know, now you know.
Held the wrist, landing the knees here. At this point, Sevrovsky is just in desperation mode right here, moving straight backwards. Bang, right there. That is all she wrote.
You heard the crowd gasping at the replay. Remember, Jimmy, bang, earlier in the round, the coaches say if he starts to come in, the knee is there, the knee is there.
And this time, he caught a guy who was going backward. Look at this here, bang. Set it up beautifully, eyes wide shut. That's how you land a flying knee, my friend.
Real time.
That sounded like two coconuts coming together. That was a brutal one.
Ladies and gentlemen, inside the Bellator cage, the knee lands and the fight officially comes to an end. 3 minutes, 44 seconds into round number one. The winner by knockout, still undefeated, Fabian the Assassin Edwards.
Time for us to take a look at the tail of the tape. Fabian Edwards and Lee Chadwick, and you want to talk about that reach.
Yeah, that reach is going to be a difference because Lee Chadwick has to get in, okay? And it's going to be a lot harder for him to get in against somebody like Fabian Edwards, who's explosive, fast, quick, and also can wrestle, because if you overextend, Fabian can take him down.
Time to head to the cage, to the voice of Bellator, our announcer, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening and welcome to the premiere of Bellator MMA's European Series. Tonight, live on Channel 5 from Newcastle, England. The action begins now with 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 6 foot, weighing in 187.5 pounds. The veteran tonight brings a professional record with 23 wins, 13 losses, 1 draw. Fighting out of Liverpool, England, Lee the Butcher Chadwick. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 186 pounds even. As a professional, he's undefeated, 5 victories, no defeats, fighting out of Birmingham, England, presenting Fabian the Assassin Edwards. And the referee in charge of the action, Kevin McDonald.
Well, we are all set. Can the veteran do it? He's been trying to get into the head of Fabian Edwards. He was doing that at the weigh-in. And he knows, as Josh was saying, he's got to try and take this deep. That would seem to be the only way for Lee Chadwick. So much expectation around this arena. And we are underway. What a week for MMA in this country. And what a start, potentially, to our Channel 5 card here.
Look for Fabian to set up that inside leg kick or inside body kick, that back leg to the body or to the inside leg of Lee Chadwick. He also likes to go ahead and, right after the kick, throw that straight left, or throw the straight left first, then finish up with the kick. That'll keep Chadwick guessing on what he's going to do with the stand-up.
Fighting out of that languid southpaw stance, Fabian Edwards, as Chadwick tries to close the distance.
This is not where Fabian wants to be early in the fight. This is where Chadwick wants the whole fight to be. He wants the fight to be either where Fabian's on the bottom, underneath him, getting ground and pounded on, or he wants him pressed against the fence so he can take away from that explosion of Fabian.
Chadwick thinks that his experience will be key.
I would normally agree with you when I hear that, but the issue is that his brother Leon has plenty of experience, and when you have a brother like that that's guiding you along and you understand what the sport is about, I don't think there's anything that Lee's gonna bring that Fabian is already prepared for.
Managed to extricate himself from that minor problem, and again just looking to find his range, to look for distance, to maybe throw that jab. Finished his last contest against Claudio Conti with a real attention-grabbing kick to the body. Fabian Edwards, he is capable of the spectacular.
The problem is, though, at a young age, young in your career, you've had spectacular finishes, and you continue to think that it's going to happen. And we saw earlier with Wallhead that not every fight works out that way. The bright lights, Bellator, it doesn't always plan out. I'm not saying that's not going to happen. What I'm saying, though, is that you can't always look for it. You got to just let it develop in front of you. And that's sometimes what young fighters have a hard time dealing with. They always try to make it happen, and sometimes it costs them the fight.
The problem with Josh, he's a realist. There's a kick from Edwards. Once again, he pulls it off, and Chadwick responding with a left hook that got Edwards' attention, but again the kick. Moments of brilliance there from Edwards, who now goes for the takedown.
Nice work. That was a great transition. He had rocked him, stumbled him a little bit, was able to get the takedown. Now he needs to make some space, start doing some ground and pound. Nice job. That was a nice setup on the head kick. He stepped out, stepped back into range, and threw it fluidly. It just flowed right off the ground and right up to the head. Now just remember, when people block with these gloves, this isn't like blocking with kickboxing gloves. This is like blocking with your 4-ounce gloves. It's like just blocking with your normal hand. So if I throw all my body weight behind you, and someone like Fabian Edwards has a tree trunk of a leg, okay, and it's the body weight of it all is going to go up to the head and going to be able to punch or kick through that. So that's what you saw right there. Chadwick blocked the kick, and then Fabian was able to go to it again. He kind of semi-blocked it, but you could tell he was wobbled and hurt.
Touch of cat and mouse here.
This is good. People are booing, but this is the thing. This is good for him. It's actually good for Chadwick to recover and get his bearings about him, but it's also good for Fabian to kind of settle in a little bit, get his win, and let him understand that the fight resets when he gets back to the feet.
There was real cage IQ there from Fabian Edwards. He must have been tempted to rush in, but instead of that, he took his time.
Look for him to set that head kick up later in the fight as well. What he'll potentially do is maybe go to the body with a body kick on that side, maybe go to the low-level leg kick, and then later on in the fight, or later, probably not in this round because we're at a minute left, but maybe into the second round, he may go back up top to the head.
Chadwick not short of confidence. He's won 3 in a row after a 2016 defeat, and just shaken a little bit here, I think. What
smart fighters will do is they'll when they realize something they were able to capitalize on in the first round. They'll go back to the money bank later on and say, hey, I'm going to pull that one back out and see what happens. It's a lot like I'm sure what they do in cricket. I don't know. It's in football here.
Josh's staggering knowledge of sport in the UK after a few days here. He'll learn.
Chadwick needs to get back into pressing him to the fence, not stay in that range where Fabian can jump in and jump out.
It's been a good opening round here for Edwards. Not by any means a conclusive one, but he's had plenty of success.
Got to be careful. That was a big straight knee up the gut. This is good for him to get into the later round. We're going to see exactly what he can do. Beautiful head kick as you're seeing here, and he followed up with some good punches. The only thing he did wrong there, he kind of smothered. You see those last little punches. You see it all the time. You see it all the time with boxers. Boxers, they get carried away and they smother their punches sometimes. You got to make a little bit of space so your punches can land clean. But then as he realized he couldn't get them clean shots in anymore, he made space, shot the takedown. Chadwick, I think, was believing that he was going to start striking and punching again. Beautiful job. That solidified him the round, knowing that he was able to get the wobble, then get the takedown. Nice job. Chadwick just needs to be more aggressive in this round, as in not staying in that range and in that pocket unless he's throwing or pressing Fabian to the fence.
Well, Chadwick said beforehand that it's about levels, which of course it is, any fight sport is. And Fabian Edwards hadn't dealt with anyone from his level before.
Nice job there. That's exactly what I seen he needed to do. I think he went back to his corner and they told him exactly what needed to happen if he wanted to win this fight. Nice work. Nice mount return, gets a lift, takes him down. He should have jumped, or not jumped, but trying to slid himself back up. Beautiful elbows.
It's a brilliant recovery, isn't it, from Edwards?
Nice job. Made enough space by framing him away with his forearm. He was able to land those elbows. Those were clean, too. You can see Chadwick's legs kind of buckle a little bit.
Almost just saying to Chadwick, I can take anything you've got, any plan you've got, and I can respond and put you under pressure.
This is where he doesn't want to be. See how he doesn't want to be in that range where he's in the pocket but not throwing. He's also got to be careful just rushing in with his head down.
Cut over the right eye there of Chadwick. It's on the edge of the eye though, so might not bother him too much.
Chadwick's one of those gritty fighters though. The more blood, the harder he fights and the better he fights.
And as you can see from the tattoo there, he's known as the Butcher, and somehow it really suits him.
They're both just pummeling for position. What I mean by pummeling is they're jockeying for hand position. The idea is to get 2 underhooks. So Fabian here looks like he has the 2 underhooks. You're able to elevate their elbows so you can throw the knees right up into the solar plex.
Such a contrast in styles here, in body shapes.
This is not where Chadwick wants to be in that pocket. See, he's right there in that pocket where Fabian can get off. He's either got to throw or get out of the range.
He's trying the inside leg kick there, and the sort of thing he's got to do, anything he can to disrupt Edwards here.
Well, this is already Fabian's longest fight. So, I mean, these are the questions that I wanted answered. I wanted to know how he would perform as the fight went on. Everything he's done has been finished in the first round. 44 seconds into the second round is nothing. Came out fresh, you know, ready to be explosive again. But can he do it late in the second round? What's he going to be like in the third round? These are all questions that need to be answered when you're talking about a young talent like Fabian Edwards.
Getting towards the part of the fight that Chadwick wanted to be in. Can he make a dent in Fabian Edwards? Flicking out that jab.
He's going to have a hard time making a dent unless he pushes the pace a little bit more. He's got to get up in his grill and just start getting after him. He's not going to get anything done out here. Fabian Edwards is too fast for him, too explosive. By the time that Fabian reacts and he comes back, Chadwick's going to end up missing the strikes.
Very wary of getting into range, isn't he, Chadwick?
He's fighting a cautious fight right now. That's because he understands the explosiveness of Fabian.
He felt the power of that kick as well. Knows what Edwards can do. Edwards renowned for his patience. Fighter from Birmingham, from Team Renegade, and now he lets his hands go as Chadwick gets up close.
Chadwick doing a good job on that. Nice turn by Fabian as well. Notice how he's working on that dumbbell underhooks like I was talking about earlier. Now they both, I believe both of them have over-unders. One is overhooked, one is underhooked. Chadwick with good head position there, dropping down on the leg. I'll continue to say this. The sport has evolved so much. When it first started, guys used to take him down against the fence and just grind him out and just do heavy ground and pound and damage. The sport has evolved to the point where now people use the cage as a place to rest and relax and hang out. So now, if I was Chadwick, I'd be trying to pull him away from the fence so he can't use that fence as a third leg. And that third leg, all that's going to do is help him keep his balance, help him stay on his feet. And that's not where Chadwick wants this fight to stay.
And just that short left hand there from Fabian Edwards. He used the elbows last time, he used the left hand that time. Similar result. Gets himself away from that position. Well, not too many people thought this would go this far. In a way, Chadwick has confounded expectation, but Edwards, you feel, still in front in the fight.
He's a fighter. He's a fighter that went 3 rounds, or he went through 2 rounds. He's never done that before. Let him realize that okay, I can do this. In this third round, he understands that in 5 minutes, I'll be done. He can do anything for 5 minutes. He's trained countless hours to do this. Chadwick just needs to get after it more. I feel like he's lost both rounds. That last round was close, though. It was close. First round for sure went to Fabian Edwards.
Yeah, the point is, you can never be sure. Edwards wants encouragement from the crowd, many of whom I think are on the side of the man from Liverpool, Lee Chadwick. Owns 2 gyms in the city, successful businessman, but wants to continue to make a go of this. Huge experience and really in the spotlight here tonight. And he's going to give it everything in this final round.
It's a mental barrier for Fabian Edwards to get past that point that he's never been before. Now that he knows he's in the third round, in 5 minutes, he can do anything for 5 minutes. He's trained for this. He's trained countless hours for this. He knows and understands that, look, I can do this. You can see him. He's pretty light on his feet right now. It's not like he's slothing around the ring or around the cage. Okay, he understands that I'm fresh. He gets it. So I think mentally, it was a barrier that he broke through, and you're going to start to see him open up a little bit more in this third round. Chadwick just needs to get after it. You don't know if the second round went to him. The first round for sure didn't go to him. He needs to get in Fabian's grill and make him fight. Make it a tough and gritty fight. Oh, another head kick. I told you to go back to that. But Chadwick comes back with a beautiful left hook.
Edwards followed up the head kick with a left hand as well. Once again, they press onto the cage. And can Chadwick make something happen from this kind of position?
They've been doing a good job with the double unders. Here we go with the double unders again. He's stopping him from dropping down on the legs. That helps open up the knees. What I like about Fabian is when he tries to break, he breaks with the knee. So he knees hard and he makes space and gets away. Nice work. He's got good head positioning here. There's that knee. Nice
Another
knee
good
again.
knee, wasn't it, to the body? And
beautiful takedown. I think this is a good chance for Fabian just to grind out this fight, put some wear and tear on him, and maybe posture up and do some real damage.
Followed his debut with submission wins against Aaron Kennedy, Lewis King, Kent Kapanen, who's very, very comfortable on the floor. Fabian Edwards, for all the show-stopping finishes against Conti, for example.
You see his brother there in the background coaching him. It's nice sometimes to get the takedown in your own corner. Okay, then you understand that. Look, the rest of the fight, Lee Chadwick can't hear his corner because they're all the way on the other side of the cage. So, listening to his brother give him instructions on what to do. Roll him to the other side. Beautiful back take. That's something that we haven't seen from him because his fights haven't lasted too long. Nice job. Roll to the top. Transition beautifully to the mount. These are all questions that we needed answered today. We're getting answers right now. He can be a gritty, tough fighter when he needs to be.
Got himself into a great position here, Fabian Edwards.
You think about it, Fabian Edwards is here. He's 5-0. He's fighting Lee Chadwick, who's 24-13-1. Talk about the experience difference, and he's fighting like he's a seasoned veteran.
Into the final 2 minutes of the fight. This is about a young prospect just grinding his way to the end, getting the job done, and understanding that it can't always be spectacular.
It's going to be hard for Lee to get out of this position. Fabian's got that body triangle, which is a figure 4 around the legs. It's hard to move. There's no around the waist. It's hard to move. It's hard to turn side to side. If Fabian can actually get Lee Chadwick or Chadwick to go belly down, could lay him flat and start doing some heavy strikes or go for the choke. He's having a hard time controlling that position, but he's got that nice body triangle. Chadwick's not going anywhere right now.
He's looking for the choke, isn't he?
Chadwick's got good wrist control right here. See how he's kind of controlling the wrists? There he goes. Now he pummels his arm over the top. What I mean by the choking side, and I'm going to tell you, is Fabian wants to roll him to the choking side. So see how he has the left arm? He wants to roll him now to the left side so he can try to finish the choke there. It's going to be hard for him to finish that choke from that side. There, now he's on the choking side. So if Fabian's able to choke on that with that right arm, it'd be hard for Chadwick to roll to the other side and start defending.
Into the final 30 seconds, there's the defense from Chadwick. Desperately trying to get himself into any kind of position.
There he goes, belly. He's trying to get him to go belly down. Couldn't get him to go there just yet.
A little smile to his corner there from Edwards. Looking for the camera's job he thinks is done.
Huge step up in competition. Good, gritty fight for him. This is exactly what we needed to see from him today. We needed to see if he could go the full 3 rounds with someone who's a seasoned veteran, experienced, someone who knew how to win fights, someone who had to press someone against the fence. How would he deal with the adversity as the fight went on? That mental barrier needed to be broken today, and it was. And look at him, he's not even breathing heavy. Felt comfortable, he looked good. You know, obviously, we all want the knockout, don't we all? But it doesn't always happen, and this was the day.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges. The cage side. Your first judge, Brian Miner, scores the fight 30-26. While judges Eric Colon and Dave Torelli both see the fight the same, 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision, Fabian, the Assassin Edwards.
So the tail of the tape looks like this. And look right down at the bottom there, Josh. That, not surprisingly, is what you've highlighted.
Yes, the reach and the range is what I highlighted, but it's not just that, it's the athleticism of Fabian Edwards to use that reach and that range. Okay, he can keep it Neto at distance with the movement and the reach and the range.
Well, we're going to see how this one develops. It's going to be fascinating to see what Fabian Edwards could do. Let's get to our MC, Michael C. Williams.
Bellator Birmingham now presents tonight's co-main event, 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. And now, live on Channel 5, we introduce the blue corner. At 5'10", weighing in 183.8 pounds in his Bellator debut, he brings 11 professional victories, 9 losses, fighting out of Villanova de Gaia, Portugal, presenting Falco, MC Neto. And across the cage, his adversary tonight fights out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 185.8 pounds. Perfect inside the Bellator cage. Overall, he stands undefeated, 6 victories, no defeats. Fighting out of Birmingham, England, introducing Fabian the Assassin Edwards. In charge of the action, your referee, Leon Roberts.
Gentlemen, you both know the rules, you both know what I expect. Protect yourself at all times, follow my instructions at all times. When I say stop, you stop. Fight hard, fight fair, fight clean. If you want to touch gloves, do so now. Back to your corners.
Well, they weren't touching gloves after what happened at the weigh-in, where it got tasty and feisty and lively. Who's going to keep their cool here? 9 of Falco Neto's 11 wins have come by knockout or submission, 7 in round 1, but Edwards has got the job done early as well on all bar 2 occasions in round 1, and he's got this lovely long-limbed languid style.
He's got to be careful not to try to do too much so early in the fight. While Neto is still fresh, obviously possesses a lot of power, physically is strong. Let the fight develop in front of him. His skills are enough to beat Neto. He's just got to make sure that he uses all of them.
Neto looking for that single leg. Good wrestling skills, this guy. Excellent jiu-jitsu, of course.
Maybe doing a good job of lifting up on the underhook. Trying to whizzer down on him. Making himself heavy so Neto can't get the takedown.
Regains his feet there and look for the knee and then look for the left hand, Edwards.
Through that little inside chopping elbow that just missed.
As Josh pointed out, you can clearly see it from his physique. Falco Neto is a strong man, and this is the kind of position that he wants to be in.
I don't think Fabian Edwards is a weak man, though. Nice sits to the Kimura. You try to roll him through. This may put him in a position where he ends up on bottom. Not the position you really want to be with Neto.
Yeah, strong man, and he's on top now. He's got a really good position. See those elbows to the body.
What happened there was he went for the roll through. He put the foot between the legs and tried to roll through with the Kimura, and the cage got in the way, and he wasn't able to scramble or finish the technique.
See how Neto's trying to take as much advantage of this as he can. With the elbows, he was using the knee as well, as Edwards tries to escape.
He tried attacking that armbar from that position. Fabian doing some good stuff. There we go. Back up to the feet.
Exactly where Edwards wants to be, and he launches that kick to the head. And then the knee from Edwards. This is what they came to see.
I'd like to see Fabian Edwards cut a couple angles, cut a little bit more corners. Don't stand directly in front of it, because I feel like that's how Neto's able to close the distance real easily and get to the takedown, or at least to the clinch.
There's that power from Neto again. Edwards defending the attempted elbow there from Falco Neto.
Fabian's looking to try and get that underhook on the right side. He's using that knee to kind of keep the distance a little bit, so maybe he can push him back, try to get back to his feet. That knee is like a little bit of a knee shield. So Neto can't pass. Oh, you gotta watch those up kicks. Oh!
That is sensational from Gegard. Staggers Neto, finishes Neto. He is the man who always finds a way. High drama, and Fabian Edwards moves up in the world with a stunning stoppage. For those who missed it, here it is again.
Fabian with the up kick, but then he steps right back in and gets two more after the first one, and the shot's finished. I would have thought after the first up kick, he would have stepped back and maybe tried to kick the legs, get his head back underneath him, get his legs underneath him, get his wit back about him. Beautiful. That one wasn't as hard. Maybe boom, but there, back away. Nice job. Then Fabian quickly up to his feet, right with the combinations, didn't rush it, pick and choose his shots. Straight left, little right, nice work.
Ladies and gentlemen, it comes to an end officially. 3 minutes, 51 seconds into round number 1. The winner by TKO, Birmingham's very own Fabian the Assassin Edwards.
So Fabian Edwards, another handshake, the bad blood behind them. Terrific to see, and Josh is with him now.
Ladies and gentlemen, here with your winner, Fabian Edwards. What does it feel like to fight and win like that here in your hometown?
It's something else. What's up, Birmingham? What's up? Let's go. Let's go.
What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna walk us through the replays real quick. You had a beautiful up kick. After you landed that first up kick though, what was going through your mind when he stepped back in for the second and the third?
I landed the first up kick. It didn't move. I thought, oh, fuck it, you can have 2 more.
Then you got back up to your feet. He still wasn't down. You landed the clean shots. What was going through your mind when he wasn't down after the 3 up kicks?
I was thinking, the ref needs to step in. The ref needs to step in.
All right, with a winning performance like that tonight, what's next for you? Who do you have on your mind?
I want everyone. 185, 205, 285. I don't give up. I'm gonna swear, but I want everyone. I don't care. Bellator, I'm here. I'm here for that title. I'll be watching that fight next weekend. Not next weekend, in June, sorry. I'll be watching that fight.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner tonight, Fabian Edwards.
Congratulations.
Our tail of the tape for this middleweight matchup. 26-year-old Edwards against 23-year-old Bosuku, and a huge reach advantage for the Assassin.
That is a big reach advantage. You're looking at 78.5 to 71, meaning Bosuku needs to utilize that footwork to move himself inside so he can touch the chin of Fabian Edwards.
With the official introductions, once again, here is the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA, tonight here in London, moves back now to the middleweight division, scheduled for 3 5-minute rounds on Paramount Network. We introduce first the blue corner at 5'10", weighing in 185.8 pounds, making his Bellator debut. He 4 losses, fighting out of Paris, France, introducing Jonathan Mutant Bosuku. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner at 6'1", weighing in 185.4 pounds. Returning to the Bellator cage, he enters undefeated as a professional. 7 victories, no defeats. Fighting out of Birmingham, England, presenting Fabian the Assassin Edwards. And the referee in charge of the action, Mike Beltran.
Mike Beltran, our referee. The mutant, Jonathan Bosuku, against the assassin, Fabian Edwards. 2 of his 3 Bellator wins by knockout. Both in round number 1. And we are underway. Red gloves for Fabian Edwards, blue gloves for Jonathan Bosuku. Sean mentioned 5-fight win streak for the 23-year-old. Finishes in 6 of his last 7 for 7-0, Fabian Edwards. Edwards in the red gloves, Bosuku in the blue gloves.
Nice heavy left kick by Bosuku. He needs to take it to be smart about where, if he's going to throw that kick, where it lands.
Watch out! Huge surge here early by Edwards. Looking for a little bit of a knee, and Bosuku able to recover.
And landed a good elbow on his exit.
Bosuku lost his first 3 professional fights, but he is 7-1 since that point. So he is definitely worthy of this fight tonight against Fabian Edwards.
Well, you're looking at a guy on the job experience because he didn't have an amateur record. So he went in there without having the ability to test things out, to learn. He had to learn on the fly. And he's got into a rhythm where he is landing big, heavy shots on his opponent. He is erratic in the way he does some things, which throws guys off. And a guy like a Fabian Edwards, who's very technical in how he attacks his opponents usually, sometimes when you're fighting that awkward guy, it kind of throws you off. It takes you a while to figure him out.
The growth of MMA in France continues, but certainly not like it is in some other countries. Czech Congo talked about that for many years, and that's why Czech's been in the U.S. for a long time.
Exactly, but you look at, France has got great athletes. Look at their soccer team. Look at some of the people coming there, and their MMA program. It's behind the times, and that's why you have guys like Czech who live in the U.S. and he comes back to Paris all the time. But when he trains, big head kick. Beautiful head kick by Fabian, and you cannot take many of those. You see Bosuku, he's blocking with one hand, one arm, but you can't do that when you have a heavy kicker. You've got to bring that other one to check it off. Almost a Dutch block.
It'll go right through the glove.
It will, and it'll go right through your arm, breaking your arm in half. You've got to take some of that speed and torque off of it.
Speaking of broken arms due to kicks, happy birthday to the natural Randy Couture.
That's true.
That wasn't the nicest segue, but happy birthday to one of the best of all time. That was a little forced segue.
That was very nice. Fight against Gabriel Gonzaga.
Yes, indeed.
Retained his heavyweight title.
Yeah, I was going to say, and he won.
I like the fact that Bosuku he's not giving an inch. He is still marching down. He's not in any way impressed by Fabian Edwards and what he's doing as far as saying, well, I'm just in here to try to look good. He's taking big shots. He's got a chin. He's here to fight.
Fabian Edwards said, and I quote, "I will be the Bellator middleweight champion by mid-2020. Said, I'm ready to challenge right now, but I'm going to build my fan base and take my time." And with his brother's success, they could turn out to be an incredible duo in MMA, maybe the best of all time.
His brother is an outstanding welterweight fighter. He picked apart Cowboy Cerrone in the fight, man. He is just flat out good.
Leon, 17-3, 7 straight wins.
and the whole thing is his brother Fabian is just a bigger version.
Moved to England from Jamaica, where he was born at age 9.
And what you're seeing is Fabian, the reason he's being successful with what he's doing. Right now, he's able to control the distance on this fight. Bosuku is coming forward, and he's trying to throw those big shots. But Fabian is seeing when he's bringing that attack. He's controlling the distance, letting him bring that attack at times, and then just countering off and closing that distance and landing big shots.
Final seconds of round number 1. Kicks thrown. Some partially landed. The fight will continue. 1 round in the books. Fabian Edwards in the red. Jonathan Bosuku in the blue. John, how'd you score?
No doubt that's a 10-9 round for Fabian Edwards. He outstruck Bosuku. Bosuku's trying, and he's coming after him. He's pressuring him. But you're seeing that Fabian Edwards is able to control that distance and land beautiful strikes when he wants.
The southpaw, born in Kingston, Jamaica, fighting out of Birmingham. Good slip of the head by Jonathan Bosuku.
And that hand hit him still. That straight left, he has got to start moving his feet. His feet are kind of flat, dead. You know, he's keeping his head on that center line. He needs to think about either, I've got to move my head again. 1-2, right down the pipe. You're going to see Fabian Edwards start going, I think it just starting to pick apart. He's going to start going low high with his kicks, with his hands. He's going to start to try to confuse Bosuku, and then he's going to go for the big shot. That's what I'm talking about, going to the body, low with that straight left hand.
Why do I feel a head kick coming?
Exactly, because it's being set up. You know, and it's so true. People think that these things just happen. No, they don't just happen. Fighters make them happen by doing things that create a situation and a reaction that they expect. And when they see that reaction, they launch and it lands.
Bosuku definitely game tonight. Trying to close the distance continuously to negate that reach advantage. Switch of the stance, nice quick inside leg kick answered by a kick. But the left hand again, left hand, that southpaw with the straight left against the orthodox fighter. Or vice versa.
Well, as you're watching, you know, Bosuku with his left hand, look at how many times his left hand comes out as just a pawing motion instead of it coming and snapping towards Fabian Edwards with his feet, moving his body close so that left hand touches that chin. You've got to have attacks. If you keep on doing a repetitive motion, your opponent's going to take that repetitive motion and start to make it work against you.
Again, he connects with the left midway point of this 3-round fight. 7-0. Fabian Edwards looking to move to 4-0 inside the Bellator cage.
Fabian Edwards right now, that left hand's got a homing beacon right in the middle of Jonathan Bosuku's face. He is landing a stiff left hand anytime he wants, both to the body or upstairs on Jonathan Bosuku.
Good combination by Jonathan Bosuku. Didn't hurt Edwards at all. Now look at the right hand of Bosuku. Had it up higher for a moment there, John. But when he throws something, naturally that right hand drops.
Yeah.
Because right now he's got it right there.
Yeah, and you can see, watch the rhythm with his hands. When his left hand paws out, his right hand starts to come down. Yeah. These are the tells. Like playing poker, everyone's got a tell. It just happens. Nice straight left hand again. That speed of Fabian Edwards on that hand, and it's just touching the mark time after time. When you have a tell and your opponent reads that tell, you've got to either change it or you're going to start to eat it because of it.
Sometimes that tell is how you eat your cookies.
It is.
And I knew you'd kick that one. Give the man his money.
Give the man his money. You know, I mean, people are looking, and some people are not happy that Fabian is not opening up more. There's no reason to. There's that high head kick that we were talking about. And that's what his timing. He's watching those hands, and he's seeing that hand when it's starting to come. He reaches out, sees the hand drop, and brings that kick up. Bosuku is tough, man. He can take a shot because he's been hit with some stiff left hands. He's been hit with big kicks up high, and he just keeps marching forward. This is a strong young man.
And John, I was just going to make the comment that Fabian Edwards isn't opening up more because he respects his opponent and his opponent's striking in Jonathan Bosuku.
Oh, absolutely. You could tell off of the leg kick he had how heavy that kick was. He was like, oh, yeah, he felt it. He knows what he's in against.
The SSE Arena, Wembley, London, England. Third and final round. Fabian Edwards in the red, Jonathan Bosuku in the blue. Up to love?
Up to love, no doubt about it. And it's not, you know, not that Jonathan Bosuku is not trying to do good things in this fight. He's just getting hit with stiff, clean shots, and he's unable to respond with ones to counter.
Bosuku riding a 5-fight win streak, winner of 7 of his last 8. 3 of his last 4 fights have gone to the judges, but given the fact he's on a 5-fight win streak, I can figure out that he won those decisions.
Sharp as a marble. You know, you can look, and it reminds me, Bosuku has that Pedro Hizo leg. He's got heavy legs with his kicks. He doesn't utilize them enough. If you've got a guy like Fabian Edwards standing in front of you, those leg kicks are going to do a lot in keeping Fabian Edwards' movement down to a minimum, because as your leg gets hit and starts to fill with blood, it becomes heavy. I would have told him, hey, I want you to start attacking those legs. Go after it. Come inside. Stay to the outside. Hit the kick. You cannot sit there and just try to get into a boxing match with this guy.
Because there certainly has not been any look towards the ground game here in this fight.
Not by neither guy.
Just over 3 minutes on the clock. Third and final round.
You can tell just by the motion of Fabian Edwards exactly what he wants to do, but he's not taking chances against Bosuku with the power.
We welcome those joining us on Sky Sports. Mike Goldberg, Big John McCarthy inside the SSE Arena, Wembley. Bonus coverage for you. Third and final round between Fabian Edwards, who is 7-0, and Jonathan Bosuku, making his Bellator debut. Our 2 big fights for you on Sky Sports. Gallagher and Laviano next, and then Paul Semtex Daly and Eric Silva at 170 pounds. Jay Glazer, Chael Sonnen, Josh Thompson, Jen Brown, all with us. Happy to be with you right here.
Oh, he's a big shot. He's hurt bad.
There it is.
Oh, but
Bellator Newcastle against Lee Chadwick. Fabian Edwards landed a head kick early, and he said, but I rushed in. And it ended up going to a decision in which he won. But nicely done by what you said, a guy who can really take a shot.
Boy, he can. I'll tell you what, Jonathan Bosuku's got a chin on him, and his whiskers are strong because he got hit with a shin right upside the head. You could see it stiffen him. He lost his balance. Fabian Edwards went after him, rushed in a little bit too quick, out of position, ended up falling down. And now you see Bosuku on top, but right now he doesn't have any type of attack. You see Fabian Edwards get back to his feet.
Final minute of our bonus coverage here on Sky Sports. The continuation of the fight for those who've been with us on Paramount Network. 45. For those just joining us, Big John McCarthy's unofficial scorecard has Fabian Edwards 10-9 in the first round, 10-9 in round number 2. 30 seconds away from moving to 8-0.
So we're going for that. Single leg takedown, does his trip, gets on top. We'll see if he tries to do anything special right here because he needs to posture and explode.
10 seconds. They go the distance.
Here's some of the attacks. If Fabian Edwards goes for this knee right here inside. Great idea. Gets into a clinch. It was that left hand. That was the difference maker. There's the high kick, and you see it hit Bosuku, but he took a lot of those. This is the one that stiffened him. Look at the legs stiffen up. Edwards rushes in, gets off balance, falls down. Bosuku ends up in top position. But it was Fabian Edwards who landed the heavy telling shots of this fight. There's no doubt he's going to walk away with his 8th victory in a row.
Bring it in. Judges have rendered their decision. Here's the voice, Michael C. Williams.
Ladies and gentlemen, having gone the distance, we'll go to your 3 judges at cage side. Brian Miner, John English, Ben Cartledge, all 3 scored exactly the same, 30-27 for the winner by unanimous decision, Fabian, the Assassin Edwards.
4-0 in Bellator, 8-0 in his mixed martial arts career. Another victory for Birmingham's assassin, Fabian Edwards.
So time for the tail of the tape. Edwards still unbeaten in 8 fights so far. Height the same, reach big advantage for Fabian Edwards. Needs to use that tonight. Which way is this massive grudge match gonna go? Let's get to RMC, to Terry Kavanagh.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is the co-main event of the evening. 3 rounds in a middleweight contest. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall and officially weighed in at 185 pounds. He brings to the cage a professional record of 13 wins and 2 losses. From London, England, please welcome Michael Shipman. And introducing his opponent across the cage in the red corner. He stands 6 feet 1 inches tall and weighed in at 185.4 pounds. He brings a perfect professional record to the cage of 8 wins and no losses. From Birmingham, England, please welcome Fabian the Assassin Edwards. Your referee in charge of the action, Mr. Leon Roberts.
Gentlemen, you both know the rules, you both know what to expect. Protect yourself at all times, follow my instructions at all times. Fight hard, fight fair, and fight clean. Okay? Back to your corners then.
I got goosebumps. Yeah, just gonna say, that was some stare down. The phony war, which has been a noisy phony war, is over. Shipman in the blue gloves, Edwards in the red. Who is going to come out on top here? You told me yesterday, Josh, that often with these big grudge matches, the first round can be quiet as they just try and feel each other out.
I like what Shipman did there. He knew he wasn't going to throw anything, but he changed his stance, and he kind of chopped out for a little bit, but always stayed right outside of range, made Fabian react.
Shipman has given everything to this sport, and he's just given everything there to Edwards. Into the cup it went.
He just grazed it. Yeah, he grazed it.
You've got to be in charge of the mic. Place him in the right position for now.
Got 5 minutes if he wants. He has to make sure he's right. There it is.
Kind of just skimmed off the front of it, went up into the gut.
We can reset and we can start again. Shipman falling short there with that right hand.
Gotta be careful of that high right kick. That high left kick, I mean, by Fabian.
Keep those knees clean, gents.
Strength there and power from Shipman. First chance they really had to feel each other's strength.
When I sat with Fabian in the fighter interviews, he talked about how everyone had talked to him and told him how strong he was. But one of his teammates had fought Shipman and said, look, he's strong, but he's not like something that's overwhelmingly strong. He's like, Fabian, when I deal with you and I train with you, he's like, you're just as strong. He's like, but you're not a stiff strong, you flow. So there's a difference in style of when guys are strong. Sometimes they're really stiff and they're physically strong, and there's guys that are strong in positions they need to be strong in.
Rugby player growing up, Shipman. Plenty of strength in that sport. Given so much to this sport. Living in a van outside the gym for a while.
This is not the range that Shipman wants to be in. He either wants to be all the way in or all the way out. He can't stay in that kicking range.
Good left hook there from Edwards. Such a smooth move in the cage, Fabian Edwards.
Fights like this either have your young talent rise to the top. That cream will rise to the top. Fabian Edwards right now looks like he's starting to rise. He knows that Shipman's a tough opponent. He knows there's more at any moment Shipman can get him down, take him down, or start to do something that may potentially he could lose the fight.
Been a good smooth start this from Edwards. Just a little pouring right hand there from Shipman.
Big shot right there by Shipman.
We feel that Shipman needs, even at this early stage, just a little confidence boost. That right hand might have been it. Good left hand there, though, from Fabian Edwards. Shipman trying to get the fight where he wants it, where he feels
that's a smart move by Shipman right there. What he did was he locked on the single leg and tried to pull him away so he could re-enter and get to a body lock or get low on the legs. Nice work by Fabian, though, trying to turn the tide a little bit, threaten to take down himself.
That loss against Costello Van Steen has really hurt Shipman. But it took a while to reset and get himself focused.
He was having a really good fight in that fight up until that moment. He just relaxed, made a mistake, and it cost him. That's the fight business.
Yeah, in some ways those defeats are harder to take than others, aren't they? I think he should have come out with the win.
somebody that's on the Fabian bandwagon, okay? I'm someone that believes in all the talent and all of his ability. But moments like this is where I feel he gives up rounds sometimes. He's so relaxed and so calm in moments where he needs to focus on getting off of that fence, because in a 3-round fight, you don't have minutes and seconds to lose sitting with your back against the fence.
Still part of the Shipman plan as well. He's watched plenty of Fabian Edwards trying to come up with a solution to try and break him down. It's a good kick there from Edwards. And then really good combination too.
Nice little uppercut right hook by Fabian. He's doing a good job of making Shipman have to react off of the pressure.
Shipman did well there to slip that left hand. Close. Is it going to be one of those fights? Very hard to score. Imagine if this ended up being controversial with all the talk there's been. Edwards needs to get himself out of this position.
I like that sense of urgency right there that he tried to show. Focus on getting his back off the fence. I believe that was something his brother said in the corner to him, Leon Edwards.
Red fingers. Oh, my fingers, right?
Just control on me. Don't look at me glove. Don't look at me glove.
Shipman's got his hands locked underneath the butt. That normally means it's going to be a lot easier for him to get to that takedown. He's going to scoop him up and start to pull him back. You see the technique of Fabian. Nice work.
Yeah, really good takedown defense there from Fabian Edwards.
Shipman switched from the double to the single leg, pulled him away from the fence. He's hitting that switch though, Fabian was. Oh, nice work. He's on the neck. Oh, head popped out by Shipman. Fabian needs to get those feet on the hips and start trying to make space to get back up to his feet.
He goes toes flat, Fabian, keep the feet flat.
It's been hard work, but Shipman has finally got into some kind of position that he wanted here. Reminder, Fabian Edwards is on the bottom at the moment, unbeaten. One of the stars of Bellator this year, in Europe anyway. Shipman is so tough, so seasoned.
Fabian needs to spend more time focusing on getting back up to his feet. Got a hand fight right here. Now let that front headlock get set in. And you start trying to fight the hands, separate his grip.
See Fabian Edwards looking up at the big screen here at Wembley. Going to work a way out of this position. Knees there from Shipman, but nothing damaging.
Smart move by Fabian though when he circled up. As soon as he got free, he circled to put Shipman's back to the fence.
Sense that Edwards is getting riled by the way this is going. There's some real urgency about it now. Now Edwards looks for the takedown, but there's a sprawl there from Shipman.
It's not where Fabian wants to be. Trying to shut the head by, get to the back. Wasn't able to do it.
Final couple of minutes of round two.
You see the smile on Shipman's face. This is exactly where he wants to be. He just wants to be hanging out, making Fabian carry his weight.
Trying to grind him down, trying to tire him out.
Well, what Shipman's trying to set up, he's trying to set up that Darce choke, or that anaconda. When he gets there, he's on that front choke. He's gonna try to hook the leg if he can put his arm all the way through. Fabian needs to fight the hands and start trying to clear his head and stand back up to his feet. This is a problem that I think a lot of the European fighters have. They need to understand the ref's not going to stand you up here.
Edwards was looking for that, wasn't he? But
well, Shipman's looking for a submission, so the ref's not going to stand you up there.
Final minute of this second round. It's going Shipman's way at the moment, narrowly. How much did that take out of Edwards? Edwards trying to stalk him at the moment.
You need that sense of urgency right now.
Good knee though from Shipman.
Yeah, but a nice little overhand left also too by Fabian.
They're both landing at the same time there. Shipman with the left hook and Edwards with a straight left. The leg kick from Edwards.
That's what we haven't seen a lot of from Fabian in this fight, is the kicks. Saw a couple head kicks in the first round, but I would have thought he would have went to the leg kicks early in the fight.
The grudge fight, the fireworks fight has not caught fire yet. We have 5 minutes left for it to do so. It's been interesting, don't get me wrong. Fascinating, but it hasn't caught fire in the way it did, for example, at the weigh-in.
But this is what I want to see. I want to see a sense of urgency from Fabian.
Two left hands from Fabian Edwards.
This is the Fabian Edwards I believe that we have on our hands, but we just got to see it from him.
He's decided to come out and take some risks now. Try and impose himself and his style on Shipman. And then Shipman reacts very well.
Nicely done. Got to the takedown. Fabian needs to work on trying to get up to his feet, not trying to work on the submissions or the sweeps. He needs to work on trying to get back to his feet as fast as possible. Kind of switch his hips out, put his back flat to the cage so he can start pushing on the head and trying to get one leg free so he can get the knee up.
Shipman's happy where he is at the moment.
He's got to shift his hips a little bit so he can clear one leg out. If he can clear one leg out, then he can start working his way back up. The best thing for him to do is scoot his butt away so he can clear one of his knees. There you go. Now he's got to start getting back up. Post it on his right hand.
The clock's against Edwards here. He's got to get out of this.
Hip escape out and start getting to his knees. There you go.
Looking for those up kicks that he so dramatically finished in Birmingham with. Shipman came in looking for the submission.
The speed on the scrambles belongs to Fabian. He just needs to make sure he causes the scrambles more often. And he's got to put pressure now. I think he thinks either it's 1-1 and he needs to win this round, or he thinks he's down. But I like this level of intensity by him.
Edwards now is the one on the front foot. Landed that left uppercut and then the kick from Edwards.
Don't chase. All he's got to do is just cut the cage off and then open up. Touch, touch, touch. You see that a little bit like how Paul Daly does it. He'll touch you, and then he'll throw big punches. Land, and then he'll go back to touch, touch, and then big punches.
Trying to stalk him here, Edwards.
Nice combination right there.
Best combination of the fight right there from Edwards. If Edwards wins this final round definitively, then it might yet be enough here. Approaching the final 90 seconds. The elbow there from Edwards.
I mean, everybody at home that's watching this, I want you guys to remember, it has to do with who's doing the most damage.
Edwards just did some damage there to Shipman.
Nice combinations there as well. Mouthpiece came out, it looked like.
Looks tired now, Shipman. Can Edwards do something dramatic here as we head for the final minute? He looks the pressure here, Edwards.
He's got 1 minute left. He's got to push this pace, but without getting careless.
Shipman looking for that inside leg kick.
Nice uppercut.
And Edwards trying to land his left hand there.
Nice elbow in the exchange.
And
Big
now
shot.
Shipman is hurt here. Final 30 seconds. Looks okay though, looks to have recovered.
Fabian needs to push this pace though. He's got Shipman on the ropes.
Breathing heavily though, Edwards here. Final seconds of the fight. Edwards hoping to end in this dominant position and make sure at least of this final round. Now it will go to the judges.
The fight couldn't have been any more evenly matched.
Anyway, take a look at some of the action here, Josh.
Nice uppercut there. That kind of stunned Shipman a little bit. Got him wobbled a little bit. Fabian knew it. That's why he jumped right back at him right away. Hit him with a nice elbow inside the clinch. None of those really landed all that much, but he was able to kind of pummel himself back inside. I liked what he did right there. He put his head right up underneath Shipman's chin. Made it hard for him to get it on the double leg.
Let's go, hands up, let's go.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds, we go to the judges' scorecards. Judge Torelli scores the bout 29-28, Shipman. Judge D'Amato scores the bout 29-28, Edwards. And Judge Cardinich scores the bout 30-27 in favor of your winner by split decision, Fabian Edwards.
Wow, Edwards gets it on a split, and not only that, but gets it 30-27 on one of the scorecards. He and his team have leapt out of the cage to celebrate, leaving Josh waiting for his interview in the cage. Poor Mike Shipman, someone had to lose, and at least there's a little fist bump between the two of them. Fabian is back in there now. Shipman doesn't want to leave. And as you can see, Josh is there with Fabian.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're here with your winner, Fabian Edwards. I saw you guys shake hands. Is the grudge over?
Nah, rematch. We need to sort it after 2 fights or 1 fight or whatever. But the rematch needs to happen.
I gotta ask you this though. Did you think you were behind coming in after the 2nd round, going to the 3rd? What did your brother tell you to get you to come out the way you did in that 3rd round?
He just said, listen, I need to fucking go and get it. I dug deep. I knew he was gonna come out and just spoil it. You know what I mean? He'll come out a whole lot and just try to spoil it. I was landing the bigger strikes. I was landing the shots to end him. You know what I mean? He was just trying to hold on to me.
What exactly is next for you? Are we looking for an automatic rematch with Shipman, or are we looking for the next step up?
I don't give a fuck, man. I don't give a fuck. That performance wasn't even my best. That wasn't even my best, you know what I mean? That was fucking Fabian at 5%, so yeah, we'll see what happens next, but back to the gym. I'm gonna have a holiday as well, but fuck the holiday. Get me back in the gym.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Fabian Edwards.
So many questions, let's start finding some answers. Let's get to the cage to Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA now presents live on Showtime the co-main event of the evening, 3 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Introducing first, the blue corner, at 6'1", weighing in 185 pounds even as a professional. 9 wins, 2 losses, fighting out of Birmingham, England, presenting Fabian, the Assassin Edwards. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in the same 185 pounds, the former light heavyweight world champion tonight makes the move back down to middleweight, bringing 26 professional victories, 11 defeats by way of Belém-do Brazil. He fights out of Orlando, Florida, USA. Introducing Lyoto, the Dragon Machida. In charge of the action, referee Jaron Villel.
On my cue, gentlemen, on my cue. Fighter, fighter, fight!
Well, you can reach out and touch the tension in this arena now. There's a legend in the house, but there's also a very, very popular British fighter up against him. Who can impose their will on the other early. Edwards determined not to leave anything in there. Determined not to take his foot off the gas. But they're both counter-strikers, and that makes this opening particularly interesting.
It does, because this could be one where they both wait. But Fabian Edwards talked about it. He goes, I know I can't wait. I have to go after him. I have to make him make mistakes, which is not easy to do. Lyoto Machida doesn't make a lot of mistakes, but he's right in the fact that he cannot wait.
Trying to draw something out of Machida here, but might as well put the money in the bank with those leg kicks. They're both doing that, though.
What you don't want to do against Lyoto, if you're Fabian Edwards, is overextend. Don't all of a sudden get frustrated and jump into something. That's when he takes big advantages in the fight. Everything that we're seeing right now out of Fabian Edwards is exactly the way he should fight. Clean, everything's tight, crisp.
Just starts to heat up here. He watched the stand up with fascination. He watched him clinch. Now he watched him go to the ground. Edwards springing back to his feet.
Very nice job of Fabian Edwards getting back, and a beautiful left elbow on the exit. See, that's the kind of thing that you're looking for in this fight. Don't be the guy that is sitting there just trying to get away. I want to make him pay for trying to take me down, and that's what Fabian Edwards did.
Never shied away from a challenge, Machida. But he chose to fight Ryan Bailey because he's the top guy and he wanted the challenge. Perfect goal for him would be Gegard Mousasi again.
He's had 2 fights against Gegard Mousasi. They split those, so that trilogy is there. If you go, and this is where you're looking at it, look at the who's who that Lyoto Machida has faced off against. He has gone against everyone you can think of.
Mousasi, Bader, Couture, Henderson, Sonnet. The list just goes on and on.
Knockout win against Randy Couture. So many fights with Sean Evans. Take a look at what occurs here. That elbow again. That elbow strike that we talked about on the exit, he did it again, and that's what started the fall of Lyoto Machida. He followed it up. Watch the elbow. He gets legs, can't hold him up. The left hand lands. One shot there, and he's out. Look at the pop on that elbow strike. We talk about landing strikes on the exit, a huge difference in fights. Fabian Edwards made a point of doing it every time. A huge win for the assassin, Fabian Edwards.
Time 3 minutes 18 seconds into round number 1. The winner by knockout, Fabian the Assassin Edwards.
Delighted Fabian Edwards is with Big John.
I'm here with your winner, Fabian Edwards. Congratulations on a beautiful victory. You looked fantastic. You came in here to put pressure on him. You weren't going to counterattack. You were going to be the aggressor. You landed elbow strikes on the exits, and that was the difference in this fight.
Mate, the Edwards brothers are known for their elbows. He should have fucking known I was going to crack him with that elbow.
When you came in this cage, you looked across and you saw a guy that's a legend in the sport. What was it that you were thinking as you were able to march out to do battle?
I thought, I'm a fucking legend myself. That's what I thought. I looked across and I thought, I'm a legend as well. Birmingham legend. What's up, Wembley? Let's go!
That's the biggest fight in your career, and you look fantastic. Who is it that you believe should be your next fight in this cage?
Everyone.
Sounds good to me. Congratulations on your biggest win. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the assassin, Fabian Edwards.
He wants to take on the world. He'll revel in this for a while. Huge, huge win for Fabian Edwards. Let's see what Josh and Aiden made of it.
Just take a look at this. You know, what you're looking at, 29 years of age. Fabian Edwards not even right at the point of being in the, the peak of his career. He's still got ways to go. Charlie Ward, he is at the peak, and hopefully he hasn't gone down. He's trying to prove that he deserves to put a beating on the younger man and get a title shot.
To Michael C. Williams. Bellator MMA now features tonight's co-main event live. Introducing first, the blue corner. At 5'11", weighing in 185.2 pounds, his professional record, 10 wins, 4 defeats. By way of Mount Mellick, he fights out of Dublin, Ireland, relentless Charlie Ward. And across the cage, his adversary fighting out of the red corner. At 6'1", weighing in 185.4 pounds, coming off a career-defining first-round knockout victory. He's now ranked number 2 and enters tonight with 10 professional victories, 2 losses, fighting out of Birmingham, England, Fabian the Assassin Edwards. In charge, your referee, Blake Grice.
Fabian, come from this way, please. This side. Gentlemen, you know the rules. I do expect a clean fight. Obey my command. Protect yourself at all times. You want to touch gloves? Do it now. Good luck to you both.
As if the plot wasn't thick enough, one of the 2 losses Fabian Edwards suffered was to Costello Vanstitis, who sent out a little message earlier tonight here in the prelims with a dominant performance that said, in case you forgot about me, don't. The number 2 ranked middleweight in Bellator, looking for the win that may push him towards Johnny Eblen in that world title. What's been interesting about the week is that we have heard a ton from Charlie Ward's camp, from his coaches, about how lean he is, how consistent he's been, but we haven't heard much from Charlie Ward, as he has not been around, which is pretty unusual in a big fight week.
Charlie, normally he'll talk and he'll give you great lines. This one, he just said, I trained hard. I worked my ass off. I'm going to prove to everyone that I belong. And so, now's your shot.
there is a great advantage to being painted in the storyline as that other guy when everybody has moved on to what they think might happen next. And you could come in and kick their sandcastle down.
One of the things is you're looking right now, take a look at just the position of Fabian Edwards and how he has taken that basic center of the cage and he's making it to where Charlie's the one on the outside. He's got a long distance if he wants to get him to the cage. Just off the bat, Fabian is showing you good fight IQ, being smart about where he's at and how he's going to attack Charlie. Didn't come out, normally Fabian, super fast starter. He didn't come out fast at all. He's taking his time. He knows what's on the line here with this win.
No one is suggesting it was peak career Lyoto Machida that Fabian Edwards knocked out. But when you consider who he had been in with and who couldn't do what Fabian Edwards did, there's no other way to spin that except ultra impressive.
And honestly, how easily he did it and the way he did it, starting off with the elbow, just shows a full range of attacks from Fabian Edwards. He's dangerous everywhere. Dangerous in the clinch, definitely dangerous on the outside with his speed and his kicks.
Knocking him out in the first round. John Jones didn't do, Rampage didn't do it.
He just missed that straight left hand.
Not by much.
There he did not miss. Oh, that was a big shot. He hurt him. Charlie was on bottom legs.
Charlie Ward trying to regain his footing. Fabian Edwards went for the second one and lost his footing.
Yeah, that was a lucky fall for Charlie because Charlie was in serious trouble. He was hurt with that one. Fabian should not accept the position here. Fabian should start to work, get his feet on the hips, start to work Charlie Ward off because Charlie's still buzzed. There's no doubt about it. He got hurt bad.
That could not have come at a better time for Charlie Ward. So he can regain his senses. That head kick wobbled him. Charlie Ward has been stopped, but it's been 5 years. Fabian Edwards just the 2 losses, the split decision loss to Van Steenis, and the unanimous decision loss to Austin Vanderford.
This is exactly what Charlie Ward wanted, man. Get Fabian Edwards to the ground and just wear on him.
Always fascinating. Sorry, John, to hear the coaching is fascinating. Because you could be thinking one thing, and they have trained something differently, they have drilled differently. And maybe not from the scramble. Wow, he got caught. Short right by Charlie Ward.
Nice job of getting back to his feet by Fabian, though. Once he finally got dug in that underhook and got to his side, he was able to work his way back to his feet.
This looked to be really turning heavily Fabian Edwards' way, and then he lost his footing on that second head kick attempt. That turned it around a little bit. Through one.
This is what started the whole thing off. That beautiful kick right to the right side of Charlie Ward's head. He was on some slippery stilts right there. But Charlie, right at the end of the round, you saw that beautiful right hand. It did touch the chin of Fabian. Did not have quite the same effect.
Are we ready? Charlie, ready? Fight!
Probably no surprise there. Fabian Edwards was in some precarious spots late in the round, but he took one shot, and that's about it.
That's it. And even when they were on the ground, he didn't really take any damage. Oh, look at this.
Easy.
And that's what I'm talking about when I say Fabian is a different animal now. Now he has some wrestling, defensive wrestling, offensive wrestling, taking Charlie down That's something Charlie did not expect from Fabian Edwards. And not only is he down, he's almost in the mount.
Tell you what, if that was in the middle of the cage, he would have been able to pass. Yep. He didn't have room.
Nice, beautiful back take. Still needs to move. There you go. Don't settle for the position. Nice job by Charlie to get back to his feet. Beautiful mat return.
This is the evolution of Fabian Edwards here this last 25, 30 seconds.
Beautiful job by Fabian to get his hooks in. Charlie, nice job of sliding him off. Felt him get a little bit high, shook him down.
So Charlie Ward told you he's happy to grind it out.
Nice turn by Charlie.
Well, that escalated quickly.
Hey! Neutral, it's a groin shot. You okay? Okay. You've got some time if you need it.
A shot to the cup along the fence is nothing new. You generally don't hear that conversation go on
Keep the knees
after.
clean. It was an
That's
accident.
exactly it.
Accident,
It's
not an
like,
accident.
well, one part of that is something we see all the time. The other part,
not so much.
Quite so much.
You good? You ready to fight?
Fabian Edwards, he is glaring a hole right through Blake Grice.
Nah, it was an accident. Hey, I didn't even see it happen. It's all good. Here we go. We ready?
Heard
Time
Blake
in,
Grice
fight!
say, I didn't even see it happen.
See now, Charlie makes those kind of big lunging attempts.
He ate two good attempts now. Charlie Ward coming strong. Fabian Edwards trying to stay safe, changes levels.
Nice job with the head position by Charlie.
It's been a good, there have been some good things here positionally for Charlie Ward, but he hasn't really done damage. He's taken some.
No doubt about
it. Chain, another easy takedown. Again, Fabian Edwards hurt by the positioning here against the fence.
Right in the
mouth. In the mouth.
Charlie used a lot of strength to actually throw him off like you're seeing right there. He was successful with it, but that's a big burst of energy. You can only do it so many times.
Fabian Edwards got that first elbow in, and now you can see the immediate damage. That cut on the forehead that the first elbow did. Both have had their moments positionally, John, but Fabian Edwards is the one doing damage.
Yeah, exactly the difference. Right now, Charlie hasn't really been able to damage Fabian in any fashion, but Fabian, multiple times, has done damage on Charlie Ward. Charlie working himself really hard here. If you're Fabian, you want to break him down. A lot of heavy hip pressure, drive those legs through. Don't let Charlie stay in that position. Great job by Charlie to fight his way out.
Trying to flatten out an elephant.
It's like flattening out a tank. You're right. But all of that gas,
look at that.
You can see, yeah.
Got back to full mount quickly, and that allowed another quick elbow to get in.
This is what happens when you start to use power, and Charlie's got power, but you use power over and over, it empties your tank, you get tired.
And you can't use power from there.
Nice side choke looking here.
Fabian Edwards trying
Great
to
job.
into it.
Good positioning by the knee, but he needs to drop the hips down. Dropping the hips will make it work a lot tighter.
Got the
Charlie fighting it off.
Knee on belly, trying to decide which way to go with it.
I'd really like to see him drop that knee off of the belly onto the side and drop his hips down. That's the reason it didn't work. There's too much space there.
Left got in.
Edwards avoiding the big shot.
Great scramble.
That was a great scramble to keep this round safely in the bank.
Here you see when Fabian Edwards got that mount the second time. Look at the elbows right away start. Heavy shots. Those are landing clean. You're seeing Charlie trying to block him with the arm. Elbow in the stand-up position, gets to the back. Beautiful elbow again, but that lost balance and then waited for Charlie, tried to land the up kick. It didn't happen.
Use that jab and straight right hand.
What does the tank have left in it for this third round?
It is the real question. Charlie has put a lot out in that second round. But I've never seen Charlie actually look so composed during a fight and so good as far as he has used a lot of energy and he's still ready to go.
You ready? You ready? Fight!
He has been largely in this fight what he said he was going to be, but he's facing someone younger, faster, more athletic. Not much question through two.
Nah, I don't think there's any doubt who's won the 2 rounds. But Charlie has made a fight of it. Every time that Fabian gets a position or does something you think, oh, this could be the end, Charlie's been fighting his way out of it. You got to really be impressed by it.
Left got through. There's the level change. First couple of takedowns were easy, and this one was too.
Right in the mount. Right in the mount. And now's all that time that you saw Charlie using that power to be able to get himself out. Does he still have that in him? Does he have enough gas to use that power? Nice S mount. You see that foot up towards the hips. That's a nice use of the position by Fabian Edwards. Now he's driving.
Got hooks in.
And he's got those hips flattened out. Right now, Charlie's kind of crunching down on the gloves and the hands of Fabian. But once Fabian's able to pull out and those hips are flat.
That's a big problem.
That is a big problem. You can see Fabian trying to work those hands free. Charlie's doing nothing as far as he's holding on for everything he has to keep those exactly where they're at.
He's defending, but he's down a couple of touchdowns, so that's not going to help. Such a smart fight fought by Fabian Edwards. Turns him, got the body lock. Block on his side, position is on his side.
Well, when Fabian Edwards came into Bellator, you know, look, everyone, he's a striker. The way to beat him, you got to take him to the ground. Look what he's working on now. He is systematically developing a ground game, making himself better in all aspects of the sport. That's what a winner does. Charlie really stuck with his figure four. Charlie needs to turn towards his left side. He needs to put Fabian's foot onto the ground to make it to where he can't squeeze so much and he can possibly turn inside of it. It is not looking good right now. It's not so much that it's under his chin, but it's cutting off just the airflow to his mouth. Go through his nose, but he's just putting up with pressure.
Fabian Edwards incrementally improving his position, moving closer to the finish line. This has been a masterclass in a lot of ways.
Now he's going for the choke.
I asked him if he felt he needed to finish the fight, if he needed one of those spectacular finishes. He said, I need to win. I need to win, and I'm going to win impressively. You start taking chances against a guy like Charlie Ward, and your title shot will fade away. Instead, this has been a performance.
You got to do one of this, are you? Shut up, you little You live easy with no anger. Look at your fight. Look at your holding on. Number 2 in the world. Number 2 in the world.
The game within the game.
And that is what happens inside the cage all the time. Most people don't hear it, but that's going on all the time.
When you dream of someone whispering sweet nothings in your ear, this is not what you have in mind.
Well, it all just depends on your attitude and what you want to do.
What you were born to do.
For dear life. For dear life. Holy shit. Come on. Finish me. You're not able to. You're not able
They share the cage.
Easy.
They may be sharing a pint later, and now they share a moment.
Ladies and gentlemen, for the decision will go now to your three judges at cage side. Your first, Jaron Villel, scores the fight 29-28, while judges Brian Miner and Salvatore D'Amato scores it 30-27. All have it for the winner by unanimous decision. Fabian, the Assassin Edwards.
Fabian Edwards accomplished what he wanted. Came in ranked number 2 in the middleweight division. Now he has another quality win and a dominant win. Now with his new best buddy, Charlie Ward and John McCarthy.
I'm here with your winner, Fabian Edwards. Fabian, that was a tough fight. You landed a big-time kick in the first round. Did you think you were going to be able to put him away?
I landed a kick that would have put away 90% of the middleweights, you know. So, like I said before I came this fight, Charlie's solid. I just want to apologize to the fan for the fight. That's not the best Fabian Edwards. I don't know if some of you that can understand me, but yeah.
Fabian, your brother won against a wrestler. The guy that is the champion right now in the middleweight division of Bellator is a fantastic wrestler, and Johnny Eblen. Is that the fight that you should be getting next?
Yeah, I don't really care. I don't care. That performance don't speak for me, innit? You know, I know a lot of people are looking, thinking, it was a crap performance, but that's not me. You know, that is not me, but we got the win. We got the win. That's it, innit?
Congratulations on a very good win against an incredibly tough man. Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Fabian Edwards.
5 straight wins, and on the doorstep now, chasing Johnny Eblen and the middleweight world title. Fabian Edwards, a dominant win in the co-main event, which, Amanda, leaves us one final piece of business.
The tail of the tape then at middleweight between Gegard Mousasi and Fabian Edwards. And John, look at those records.
Well, and that's the whole point here. Does the experience of a man walking into his 60th professional fight get it done against the younger, athletic, only 11-2 Fabian Edwards, number 1 versus number 2.
So for the final time on what has been a fantastic evening in Paris, let's head to Michael C. Williams.
Bellator MMA live on Showtime. From Paris, the time has come for the main event of the evening. 5 5-minute rounds in the middleweight division. Sanctioned tonight by the Mohegan Tribe Department of Athletic Regulation, Chairman James Gessner, Director Mike Mazzulli, and supervising at cage side, Brendan Kaliwa. And now, from Accor Arena, we introduce first the blue corner. At 6'1", weighing in 184.8 pounds, ranked now as the number 2 contender, he holds a professional record, 11 wins, 2 losses from Birmingham, England. Introducing Fabian, the Assassin Edwards. And across the cage, his adversary, fighting fighting out of the red corner at 6'2", weighing in 185.6 pounds, having twice held the Bellator title. The 6-time world champion brings an incomparable professional record of 49 victories, 8 defeats, 2 draws. Entering tonight with the #1 ranking, he fights out of Amsterdam, Netherlands, presenting Gegard Mousasi. In charge, your referee, Kevin McDonald.
All right, gentlemen, 5 rounds under the unified rules for the main event of the evening, title contender fight. We went over those in the back. If you don't have any questions, best of luck, touch gloves.
So it's time. Can Mousasi maintain that record of never having lost twice in a row here in fight number 60? Can Edwards find a way? What a path to glory it could be for him. So many different narratives ahead of this fight. It's going to be so interesting to see how they play out. One thing is for sure, you write off Gegard Mousasi at your peril.
That is not something that any smart man would do. Gegard has been in against the very best that this sport has had. I mean, you look at the people he's fought in the wins, it's a who's who in MMA. It's incredible.
7 times before, fighters have got into a cage with him, trying to make it consecutive defeats, and none of them have managed it. Fabian Edwards has to do that tonight. Lands a good left hand early.
Well, it's one of the things that, Josh and I talked about before is, I always look and say, when you become the champion, you become just percentages better. But I also think that by being around the champion and being, like Josh talked about earlier, being in that gym that champion is now at, it makes all of you better, because now you see how much work it took for someone to do. You see them get successful. That was not good.
And he will be given time. That is a painful start for Fabian Edwards.
Kick, you can see it landed. That's the ones that hurt the most. It lands right underneath the cup, bringing it up. Those are the ones that usually will do the damage. So Fabian should take all the time that he needs within that 5 minutes to get himself back to being as good as he can be. But as we were talking about, when you have a brother that's been the champion, you see everything that it took, and then you look and you go, I can do that. And it just motivates you to do those things, to be the best. And I think that Fabian at this point is a better fighter now than he's ever been, based upon just time and experience, but also seeing how it's done from his brother.
Okay, you ready on the clock? All right, let's continue.
Edwards okay to continue. Mousasi said he would keep this on the feet and he'd take a look at Edwards, and that's what he's doing so far.
Mousasi did say that, I'm not going to be in a stand-up battle with him. I want to be in the stand-up. And I look at that and I go, that's not the smartest way to try to beat Fabian Edwards. In fact, that's the way to get knocked out, because Fabian loves people that want to stand with him and not try to take him down. That's where he is best. And so, Gegard, there's no doubt he has a massive advantage if the fight hits the ground and he's in the top position. But if you're not going to try to get it there, then it's going to come down to a kickboxing battle.
There's the aggression from Edwards.
3-2, 3-2. That's it. You've got the look now. 3-2.
Both fighters throwing a lot of feints here. Both trying to entice the other in. This is high-level stuff.
Yeah, one of the things, take a look at that. Gegard does a beautiful job of, he's going to give that little half hitch, looking like he's going to throw a kick. And it just upsets your timing if you're Fabian. Edwards needs to get past that and step through. If he's looking to throw, step through and throw. Don't get caught in the middle of that.
An awful lot of respect here between the two of them. Mousasi having an early look. Edwards aware of what Mousasi can do.
Yeah, but if you're just taking a look at body language, look at the body language of Fabian Edwards and look how confident he is with the range. He's comfortable with it. He's saying, okay, I can fight right here. I see everything that you're doing, and you get within my range, then I'm going to snap on you.
And we know that Fabian Edwards can be devastating for all the criticism that sometimes he can fight to the level of his opponent, fight down to that level. He's very, very good. He's improving all the time. Straight left hand there from Edwards.
And one of the things that has made Gegard so good is he's got a really good jab. He's fast with his hands, but he's not as fast as Fabian Edwards. And so that makes a difference in this. And like I said, speed kills. It is tough to fight against someone that is noticeably faster than you.
Edwards pouring out that southpaw jab and trying to follow up behind it with a left hand. It's been a relatively quiet start here in Paris. So much at stake in different ways for both of these men. From Johnny Eblen, there he is sitting next to Royce Gracie, just sitting back and enjoying the
past and the present.
Good person to sit next to learn a bit about what's going on in there, isn't it?
I'll tell you what, if you want to talk to a man that knows about fighting and knows about the mind of a fighter, you're talking about Royce Gracie right there.
What a privilege to have these fantastic fighters all around, as John said, from present and from past. Fabian Edwards trying to be the future. David Lavelle, Nathan Epps, Leon's in there as well. They'll be happy with that opening round, but they'll want to put their foot on the gas here. How did you score that, John?
You know, I scored that for Fabian Edwards, but it could have gone, either way. It seemed to me that when they landed, he landed the cleaner shots overall. The best shot was with a little groin blow, and you can't count that one.
So round two, remember, scheduled 5 here. Fabian Edwards out a little more positively. I don't think too many people around the table believed Gegard Mousasi when he said, oh, take a look on the feet and that's where I'm going to have it, but that's where it is at the moment. Left hand again there from Edwards.
It's a clean left hand by Fabian Edwards.
Mousasi is banking up those kicks. He's landed a few of those calf kicks and push kicks as well.
Notice again, look at how comfortable Fabian is with the range. Gegard doesn't look comfortable while Fabian does. Fabian's giving the feints. Notice those. He knows exactly that distance. I need to back up.
That's outstanding from Fabian Edwards.
Watch the back of the head.
Not the place that I would think that Fabian Edwards wants this fight. He's not doing anything right now at all other than getting hit. So that's telling me he just wants to sit here. He's not going to do much. He's going to let the referee stand him up if that's what it takes. But nice sweep over. Almost elevated him over the top. Nice job by Gegard.
And now Mousasi in an area where he is dominant.
Yeah, I believe there's a huge difference on the ground. It's not that Fabian Edwards can't fight on the ground. He just is not that ground fighter that we know Gegard Mousasi can be. And if you're going to be on the ground with Gegard, this is it. This is the way to be. Have him on his back.
Telling Edwards to sit heavy, to use that weight against Mousasi.
Well, that's because when you take a look with that butterfly guard, Mousasi's able to elevate those hips, so that's why they want his hips to be heavy. Don't allow him to start to get those hips light, getting them up in the air. That way he's going to turn you, get to the top position, and that is not a place you want to be.
Edwards trying to be heavy here on top of Mousasi.
It's not good news for Fabian Edwards.
Really smart from Mousasi. This is where he wants it now.
Stop! 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 Over there, neutral.
There was a knee to a grounded fighter. I couldn't see that it hit the head. I thought he was aiming for the body. That's what it looked like. But from my view, couldn't see it. Couldn't see it live there. Couldn't see it on the screen.
We'll see if we can get a closer look at it.
Hey, Fabian. No, you don't listen to them. This is in between.
Here we go.
It touched. There was really no power to it, but you can say that it touched, but there was no damage at all. Nothing that should have stopped Fabian Edwards from continuing on in this fight.
It's our second delay. Edwards is just feeling for damage around the ear, around the eye.
Well, he's the one that accepted the blow, so he knows if he's feeling something. It could be that joint with your jaw. He could have had his mouth open. Doesn't take a whole lot to make that click out of place.
John, if he's not able to continue, what happens?
Well, then that would be a determination by Kevin McDonald. Was that, in his opinion, intentionally done, or was it an accidental use of trying to hit a grounded fighter to the body, but it touched him, I guess, to the face there. So if he calls it intentional, it's going to be a disqualification of Gegard. If he doesn't, it would be a no contest. But what you're going to see with Gegard is, at a minimum, he's going to lose the position, and that was a position that was important to him at this point.
Edwards doesn't want to continue if he's not right. I just told him it's your second foul.
That is, and that's what Fabian is talking about. Well, look, he hit me in the groin with one. Now he hit me in the face, we're going to say. So you can understand where Fabian's going. Well, how many more?
As you say, Mousasi loses that position. Of course, it won't affect Mousasi at all. He's seen pretty much everything. He's encouraging Edwards to join in there.
Absolutely he is. He's already felt the ground with him. He knows that that's a place that he feels comfortable.
There from Edwards for the first time, real snap.
Yeah, it was very nice that the way he took his left hand afterwards, landing a clean shot on Gegard from it.
Again, Edwards having the better of it there, landed a short right hand.
How many times do we have to say it, Dave? Speed kills. It is tough to go against a guy who has got faster hands, can counter you.
Heading towards the end of a scrappy, clearly a stop-start second round here.
He didn't do anything with it, and Gegard landed some good shots, but I give it to Fabian Edwards. Here was that takedown. And then you saw he slips over the top. Gegard's able to get to the top position, wasn't able to do any real damage before he landed what was an illegal strike to the head of a grounded fighter. And then Fabian Edwards landed some clean shots. Once it went back to the standing position, he's getting the better of Gegard in the stand-up.
But let me ask you this. If everything beforehand pointed to Mousasi's place in this fight being on the ground, that's where he's best. Everything we've seen so far has pointed to that. Is that where he should be? And why isn't he going there?
Well, you're going to have to ask Gegard Mousasi that. You know, I had that my keys to victory. You have a massive advantage in one area. Why not take the fight to that point?
And if Mousasi, as on John's card, has lost the opening 2 rounds, he needs to get going here. And Edwards has had success on the feet. Mousasi's been submitted 3 times, he's only been knocked out once. He's teak tough, but Edwards is racking up the points effectively. That's a good left hand from Edwards. Mousasi ducked into it. Edwards is growing in confidence here.
He's growing in confidence with his counters. He's waiting right now on Gegard at times, or he's countering the counter. Nice knee to the body.
And all done with that blurring speed of Edwards. Now then, this time a clothing problem. They need to fix the shorts of Mousasi here. You can see they came apart there.
Yeah, but it was an eye poke that he was complaining about. He got poked in the eye, right there, just scraped across it. That's what he was complaining about. But you do have a malfunction of his groin protection.
Let's close the gate. Stay back. Stay back. Ready on the time? All right, come on, guys. Let's fight.
Literally stop-start. But when it started, Edwards has had the better of it. Mousasi with so many friends, members of his family here watching. They wanted glorious redemption here, not more disappointment. Who knows where this is headed at the moment? Good kick to the body from Edwards.
Fabian Edwards is very smooth in his stand-up. He's confident, he controls range very well. He knows exactly where he needs to be, and he knows when Gegard closes that distance, when he needs to attack and force him back. One of the things Gegard needs to do is exactly what he's doing now. Force Fabian back. Fabian is not the same fighter when he's moving backwards. He doesn't have the same volume or attack. Edwards doing a really nice job on the inside of the left leg of Gegard. He's starting to get eaten up. There he attacks it again.
Yeah, he's realized, hasn't he? He's targeting that. It's Been a strangely passive display from the great Gegard Mousasi so far. Edwards keeps targeting that leg.
And what you're really seeing is you're seeing Edwards a la an Israel Adesanya, controlling, being very comfortable, a lot of hand play, smooth movement, and using his length, which is something Gegard has a problem with. If someone's got longer length, that length is causing him some problems with Fabian Edwards.
Mousasi just chasing Edwards around the cage a little bit at the moment. Edwards so quick, but then Mousasi shows the threat that he possesses. Good thing for Fabian Edwards at the moment is that it feels like he's in control.
I think he is. He's the one that's, you have Gegard coming after him, but take a look at what's landing. And Gegard's landing some teep kicks to the body, but overall with the hands, Fabian Edwards is the one that's landing the clean shots.
And Edwards is winning these exchanges.
Very nice combination by Fabian Edwards. That was just well placed.
It was a great dig to the body, wasn't it? Plenty of torque in that. Trying to vary things maybe. Of course, with the extra confidence comes danger for Edwards, but he's dominating at the moment. So round number 4, did you score round 3 for Edwards?
I have round 3, 10-9 for Fabian Edwards.
So Edwards 3 up on John's scorecard. Mousasi has got work to do. Of course, the judges could be seeing it differently. Mousasi is doing some good work.
You can go back to when Gegard won the middleweight title from Bellator against Rafael Carvalho. Went with a guy that's a good kickboxer, went straight into wrestling, took him down, dominated the top position, got a TKO victory. That's the kind of fight that I believe he needs to fight to win this, because Fabian has showed that he's got quickness, he's got elusiveness, he's able to control most of the range, even though Gegard's doing a great job of trying to crush that space and come into him.
Not giving himself the best chance of victory here, Mousasi.
Well, he was honest with us when he said, I'm going to stand up with him. He goes, it's going to be a stand-up fight. Well, he wasn't lying.
Got a shot there from Mousasi. 101 of 182 landed. Look at the disparity there in terms of the total strikes landed. Mousasi ahead of Edwards, but Edwards has landed the quality.
Yeah, whoever is pushing that button is crazy.
Great straight left hand from Edwards, and look at the damage again to the inside of the thigh there of Mousasi. Edwards targeting it again in this round.
And again, Edwards landing the shots with power.
Crowd are trying to get behind Gegard Mousasi. They sense what's happening here.
Gegard Mousasi is just so tough coming forward, but here you go. That's what he should have been doing, in my opinion. We'll see what he can do. Right to mount.
Look at that, how easily he went to mount there, Mousasi. Giving himself big problems to solve. Is he about to start solving them?
Fabian Edwards trying to hold on to that hand, hide his head. Nice job of getting back to his feet. Mousasi all over him right now. This is a big opportunity for Gegard.
Still plenty of time left in the round.
Nice job by Fabian to work his way out of that. That says a lot right there.
Yeah, that is a significant moment.
Gegard eating a lot of kicks to the body there.
Good shot there again from Mousasi. Is he going to do enough to win this fourth round, give himself a chance going into the final round? Then looks for the takedown. Again, Edwards does well. Watch Fabian Edwards develop on his Bellator journey so far. Is this going to be the best night so far?
Nice job by Fabian Edwards going for the takedown, takes it backside.
4 rounds in the back, Fabian. Take it down, breathe. Take it down, breathe. Hammer fist and breathe. Stop.
Look, you know, that moment we were talking about. Look here. See, there's the difference. It's been Fabian landing the stand-up heavier shots overall. Then Gegard goes to this takedown and he gets it. And he does a beautiful job of going straight to mount, but then he loses it. Nice clean shot there by Gegard. Nice left hand. That was the same one, different angle. 2 clean shots by Gegard Mousasi. Takedown by Fabian Edwards.
Well, at the moment he is staring who knows what in the face here. He said this would be his final run. He's never lost consecutive fights before, but the great champion, the dream catcher, has to pull something out of the fire here. He's done it before, but he needs something very special here in this 5th and final round. John has it 4-0 for Edwards. So good at solving puzzles, Mousasi, throughout his career. He hasn't been able to solve this one. Mousasi needs to try and set something dramatic up here. Surely needs more than just a convincing win of this final round. Surely needs something a lot more dramatic than that.
Nice return counter by Gegard.
Good feints there from Fabian.
And you can see the reaction from Gegard, which is telling you he's been hit a lot. You get that type of reaction off of that feint. That was a nice clean shot by Gegard there. Fabian into a clinch.
Fabian really confident.
A nice figure four body lock on Gegard.
Suddenly Fabian wants it on the ground and having real success here, using his strength.
As long as he's able to lace that left arm, that's going to keep Gegard from being able to turn, but Gegard does a good job of turning inside of that figure four body lock many times, so he's got to make sure that he maintains control of that arm while he was up on the cage. Nice job by Fabian Edwards. Smart. He realized he was losing that. Let me get myself back.
Edwards is all over Mousasi here. Only 2 minutes remaining. Leon Edwards and that Edwards corner screaming instructions at his younger brother here. He knows how close he is.
Back to the body triangle. He's doing a great job of keeping himself square with the back of Gegard.
No fingers in the glove. There's no fingers in those gloves. Get him out. Fingers out. Get the fingers out. Go.
Well, Mousasi getting increasingly desperate here, because Edwards has dominated on the feet and now he's dominating on the ground. He's beating him everywhere.
Edwards doing a really nice job just controlling here. Switches that figure four. Gegard wants to put that foot to the ground. That'll help in him being able to turn inside of it. Right now, Fabian could switch back to the other side. He's got it locked in.
He knows how close he is. They're counting him down here. He knows if he maintains this position, surely it's his night.
Back to it again. Both hands, attack both hands. Get that right hand back up.
You hear the corner trying to talk him through that choke. It's going to be very difficult with just one arm. It's not that it can't be done, but against someone like Gegard, don't think it's going to happen.
You can get old very, very quickly in the fight game.
Yes, you can.
And I wonder if that's what we're watching now, what we watched against Johnny Eblen, taking nothing away from him or from Fabian Edwards, of course. But it's been 5 pretty dominant rounds from Fabian Edwards, and surely his night. In Paris, we go to the scorecards. But Edwards has surely done enough. But Mousasi, well, thoughts will be flying through his head at the moment.
Most of them are now retired, so it's getting close to the end. Here, Gegard was able to try to get into the body lock, but it was Fabian that was able to take the fight to the ground. Gegard lands a clean left hand. Here comes Fabian taking him down and just muscled him down. Well done by Fabian Edwards. He gets the back. He was able to lock in that body triangle. He switched it a couple of times and maintained that position, showing, hey, I can work on the ground too. So well played and well done by Fabian Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, in tonight's main event, we go the distance. So we go now to your judges at cage side: Eric Colon, Sal the model, and Brian Miner. All three have it exactly the same at 49-46. All for the winner by unanimous decision, Fabian the Assassin Edwards.
The win of his career, and he marches on. It is Fabian Edwards by unanimous decision. Let's get to Big John.
I'm here with your winner, Fabian Edwards. Fabian, that was a beautiful performance. You dominated the action of that fight. You controlled the range, the distance, all of it, and even on the ground, you showed that, you know what, you got a ground game too.
There's levels. There is levels. After I suffered my losses, a lot of people wrote me off, you know. a lot before I was finished, but now I'm here. One more fight until I get that gold belt and join my brother and make some fucking history.
Well, you just said you got one more fight before you are able to take that moment to say that you're the champion. We got Johnny Eblen stepping up here right now. Johnny, you just watched him fight the guy that you won that belt from. What do you think of this performance?
That's a pretty good performance, but I'm a much tougher opponent than Gegard, and you're gonna fucking see that when we fight. Yeah.
Finish? Mate, watch. We know when the show is. We know when the show is. That belt's mine.
No.
That belt's mine, brother.
This is staying
that
in
belt's
South
mine.
Florida with me,
Not
baby.
take a chance.
USA all day.
Ladies and gentlemen, the main event on September 23rd from Dublin, Ireland for the middleweight title will be the champion, Johnny Eblen, against the challenger, Fabian Edwards.
That gives you a sign of what to expect, doesn't it? Edwards and Eblen going at it already.
Here's a look at our tail of the tape for this title eliminator at 185 pounds. Fabian Edwards is 30, Aaron Jeffrey 31. Jeffrey is 1 inch taller, but the longer arms belong to Fabian Edwards. Longer leg reach. That advantage is Aaron Jeffrey's.
All right, keys to victory. So Aaron Jeffrey's punching into the clinch. He's going to disguise that forward movement. The wrestling hustle will be a big key for this whole fight. And if he can threaten guillotines, it might force Edwards onto his back to bail out. For Fabian Edwards, staying off the fence will be very, very important to defend those takedowns. Aiming for the body, even if he's not intending on hitting to the body. The old Ray Longo, punch a hole in his chest, might be the right thing to do against a wrestler. And of course, anti-clinch. Get him off the fence, get him back out into striking range.
Ladies and gentlemen, the following fight will determine the #1 contender for the Bellator Middleweight Championship. Introducing first, fighting out of the blue corner. He is an MMA specialist and stands 6 feet 2 inches tall. He weighed an official of 185.2 pounds. And across his 14 fight career has had a record of 14 wins and 4 losses, 9 big victories coming by way of knockout. Fighting out of Tillsonburg, Ontario, Canada, Aaron Jeffrey. And his opponent fighting out of the red corner. He's an MMA specialist and stands 6 feet 1 inches tall. He weighed in officially on 185.6 pounds and holds a professional record of 12 victories and 3 defeats. Fighting out of Birmingham, England, Fabian the Assassin Edwards. The referee in charge, plate press.
Ready to get the zone box. Start from right here.
Edwards in the black trunks, Jeffrey in the white. 3 5-minute rounds. Winner faces Johnny Eblen for a Bellator title in the near future.
Fabian, you ready? Aaron, you ready? Fight!
Southpaw stance for Fabian Edwards. Jeffrey with the head movement early.
This is an edge-of-your-seat kind of fight. I don't think I'm going to be able to stay seated for this. Straight into the body lock there for Aaron Jeffrey.
Followed an inside leg kick and presses Fabian Edwards into the barrier.
I'm interested to see what Fabian's plan is here to get him off the fence, because of course he spent a full training camp expecting this approach from Jeffrey. Nice turn there, good head position potentially here. Fabian might be able to break and strike.
Yeah, he's very, very dangerous here on the split, throwing elbows, dangerous elbows and knees.
Jeffrey going to work on the legs of Fabian Edwards with some knees of his own. Fabian Edwards. Lands in the half guard on top of Aaron Jeffrey. Jeffrey works his way back to his feet, still pressured by Fabian.
That was a great knee to the body and another one there by Fabian.
Jeffrey uses that underhook to reverse positions, pummeling back in. Good wrist control here, 2-on-1 from Fabian Edwards. Taking away that left arm of Aaron Jeffrey. More knees right to the midsection. And Aaron Jeffrey rethinking the short left hand.
Good head position here for a moment there for Jeffries. Allowed him to get his underhooks. Worked a small shoulder strike there. The pressure's on here because it's only 3 rounds as well. You don't want to be dropping a single round and putting any more pressure on yourself than you need to. Good knees to the legs from Fabian.
A little conversation about whether one of those knees was a low blow, but we fight on.
Fabian with a shallow underhook now with the right arm. Really turn his opponent off the fence. Strong double underhook game from Aaron Jeffries to be able to reverse the position almost immediately.
Both guys are really fighting for head position.
Almost over top.
There's the corner of Aaron Jeffrey.
It's close.
Yeah, high crotch if you want.
Run it.
Big rotate or switch off high crotch.
Nice knee to the body again there, but then returned by Aaron Jeffrey.
Good exit here from Fabian Edwards. Jeffrey immediately pursuing with the inside kicks. Right hand and the left behind it. And Jeffrey now changing levels.
Looked like Fabian tried an elbow on that level change and was just a little too low.
There you go. Underhook, such your best to me. Look at your best. Such your best to me. There you go. Elbows back. Rear attack. Nothing there.
Nice elbow from Jeffrey and a knee to finish the combination. Fabian Edwards offered a couple elbows, chest to chest again. You heard inside the corner there that voice happened to be Leon Edwards, one of the best mixed martial artists on planet Earth, who of course is the brother of Fabian Edwards.
This is a mauling round for Jeffrey. Really draining for Fabian, who wants to be out in space, really.
Good knees here. Really for both fighters, but Jeffrey's starting to score a little more than he was earlier in the round. Those knees to the body. Good pace from Jeffrey, even on those exits. There's no big rest, there's no deep breaths.
There's a short left hand here from Fabian. Just popped Aaron Jeffrey on the nose. Not quite enough to discourage him moving forward. Whereas Jeffrey, when he opened up here a little bit, he landed a couple of shots, forced Fabian to defend, lands a good knee there as well.
Ready? Ready? Fight!
Round 2 underway. Aaron Jeffrey pumping his jab out. Uppercut there from Fabian caught Jeffrey coming in. Big John McCarthy watched that first round. What'd you think, Big John?
I thought that was a beautiful round for Aaron Jeffrey. That was the exact type of fight he wants. He won the round 10-9, but he also was able to put a ton of pressure and get blood into the arms of Fabian Edwards, which is going to slow him down a little bit. Fabian is used to guys trying to wrestle him, but it's tough when it's a full 5-minute round doing that.
AJ McKee also watching in. As much like in round one, we're chest to chest against the fence. AJ, is this how you would fight Fabian Edwards if you were Aaron Jeffrey?
Definitely. This is a smart tactic. You know, you want to kind of clinch with him, make him fear the takedown. But if I was in this position, I'd try to break off and let my hands go a little bit and try to catch Fabian, you know, on the way out. He's already got him fearing the wrestling, so now he's got to capitalize on certain opportunities of creating the distance and the space.
Big thanks to AJ McKee and Big John McCarthy. Aaron Jeffrey pressuring Fabian Edwards. And right back to the same work. Every time Fabian Edwards earns himself a little separation, Jeffrey smothers it again after a strike or two.
He got a little space, but it just wasn't enough to be able to get free. Now he's got some space.
Good push kick there. Again, Jeffrey just continues to move forward and pressure. And now Fabian Edwards level changes. That's that offensive wrestling, Dan, that you were looking for.
Needs to switch to a single leg here. Now his posture's been broken. He's going to struggle to finish that. Beautiful work by Aaron Jeffrey. Lands a short knee before Fabian was able to get his hand to the canvas. And here we are again, Aaron Jeffrey with an underhook, fighting wrist control, mauling Fabian up against the fence. And the thing is as well, it's worth bearing in mind that Fabian level changed there and drove for a takedown that he didn't get. There was a tax for that, right? Energy was spent attempting that takedown.
Yeah, he said he wanted to wrestle, but I think the key to victory in this is to try and maintain range, break away from this clinch now, try and land some big strikes.
Yeah. This is why in the keys to victory I was talking about aiming for the body here, because you know Aaron Jeffrey is going to be level changing as soon as he can when he comes in. If you can punch low or elbow low, you're far more likely to land. Even if they're level changing, you catch him in the face. The danger here is Fabian punching over Jeffrey's head.
He landed a nice left hand there, then around the guard.
Oh, gotta move, gotta move. A couple of strikes and then Jeffrey's back on his case again. Now he's level changed onto a single leg. You can see Fabian holding one side of his body up with his overhook. Great takedown defense here.
It is a grueling pace. Some of the hardest fighting you can do inside of a cage is right here in these positions. Jeffrey knows it, sucking the gas tank down for Fabian Edwards. 90 seconds remain in round two.
High crotch potentially. Can Aaron Jeffrey lift? He tries to. Oh, just missed that elbow. Any one of these could be a game changer. Jeffrey's doing such a good job of staying so close, though, that he's nullifying a lot of the danger that's in front of him.
Guys, if you want to stay there, I need you to advance the fight. Let's go. You gotta work.
Warning from the referee. These knees maybe enough to keep the fight here for now. Good reversal of position here for Fabian Edwards. He muscles Aaron Jeffrey down to the canvas. Now Fabian on the back.
Double underhooks as well. Fabian needs to free his arms here. Lovely double bind on the leg as well. You can see Fabian's got his legs crossed, and then he's got his left leg anchored behind the back knee of Jeffrey.
Jeffrey controlling Fabian Edwards' left arm to keep it from snaking around his neck under the chin. Good left hand again. Oh, a nice uppercut. Straight left again from Edwards, but Jeffrey continues Terminator motion forward.
That's a good cut from a legal blow from an elbow.
I think AJ is cut, is he?
Yeah, see, interesting. That was a very slow round for Fabian until He got the takedown and then landed the elbow. He may have just stolen the round with that strike and that takedown.
Well, Big John McCarthy tells us all the time, damage, damage, damage. Watching on closely, his next opponent will emerge from this bout. Aaron Jeffrey, the Canadian, in the white trunks.
As always, the Bellator cutmen do such a good job to control the bleeding. It's amazing that he's back in this fight with what looks like just a scratch on his face when I would imagine it's quite a deep cut.
Big John, tell me how you scored round 2.
Sean, I love you for listening to me. You are absolutely right. Damage, that is the key. And that is what ends up giving Fabian Edwards the second round. This fight should be even right now.
The left hand is now finding its home. Fabian Edwards landed an uppercut, landed a straight left twice. Jeffrey, the level change is stymied for now. Back to the barrier.
Nice. And then we've got some confidence from Fabian from that elbow that he landed in the second round here. He knows 1 or 2 strikes. Oh, wow, what an elbow.
Upward elbow as Jeffrey's coming in. Didn't even have to compromise his own defensive position to land it. Smooth work. Liam McCourt, put yourself in Fabian Edwards' corner. What are you telling him to do right now?
I'm telling him to break off. He's got AJ against the cage. He doesn't need to be there. He needs to land some more big strikes. There's a beautiful takedown. AJ's going to reverse it. Fabian needs to stay on his feet and maintain range and land more of those big elbows.
AJ McKee watching on with us. AJ, are you surprised to see Fabian Edwards wrestling here?
I think we're having some technical difficulties there. So Fabian here is trying to control his opponent with this overhook. Now he's turned his posture a little bit back to the overhook on the other side. Really struggling to dig an underhook in here, and Jeffrey is using the opportunity to land some knees to the body. Into the last 3 minutes of this fight now. Good turn.
All the striking on these breaks becomes more and more significant. That left uppercut, we've seen it land several times for Fabian. There's that upward elbow again. Giving Aaron Jeffrey something to run into. Big difference maker here at the end of round 2 and now halfway through round 3.
Fabian can't accept this position. He needs to get off. Try and find the center of the cage.
Absolutely. He's got his corner team behind him. Tom Breeze, Coach Dave Lovell, Leon Edwards. Great wrestling hustle by Jeffrey. I would love to see Fabian try and break here and strike. Here we go. Can he land another elbow?
Caught a kick, through a left hand. This time the uppercut goes to the body of Aaron Jeffrey. Nice. Clinch knees. Jeffrey pressing forward. Double underhooks here for Fabian Edwards. Stopping that lift. Jeffrey runs the pipe and then chases this takedown. Good whizzer here from Fabian Edwards.
Edwards will have lost his voice by the end of this round.
Yeah, this is his specialty against the cage, takedown defense.
Good elbow there from Jeffrey. Edwards offered one back.
I'd be interested to see Johnny Eblen's take on this. Oh, another beautiful elbow on the inside. And a nice knee to the midsection. Good balance, exhausting work though this. 30 seconds left. I think if Fabian can turn himself off the fence here.
This round feels very much undecided, even heading into these final seconds. Good knee from Jeffrey.
Yeah, this for me is Fabian's round with the strikes that he's landed. I feel like Jeffrey's had good forward pressure, but he's not really done a great deal with it.
Yeah.
I wouldn't disagree. We saw, really, at the end of round 2 and here in round number 3, Fabian Edwards. So this fight, there's that left uppercut. And the straight jousting left hand. Came up at sort of an angle. Upward elbow. Fabian Edwards with some great timing, taking advantage of the forward pressure from AJ, giving him something to fall on. What a Terminator this Canadian fighter is.
Ladies and gentlemen, after 3 rounds of action, we go to the judges' scorecards. All 3 judges scored this bout 29-28 for your winner by unanimous decision, and now the number 1 contender for the Bellator Middleweight Championship, Fabian Edwards!
Decision victory for Fabian Edwards. He earned his rematch with Johnny Eblen. A hard-fought victory over a very game, heavy pressure attack from AJ. Aaron Jeffrey back to the drawing board for the Canadian. What a fight.
Great fight.
All right, AJ McKee watched on in this middleweight title eliminator. Is that how you scored it, AJ?
Definitely. You know, I would have liked to see Edwards, Fabian, get his back off the cage a bit more. It was very, very close, great fight. He did very well with the takedown defenses. I think against Eblen, though, that's going to be his key, is being able to get his back off of that cage and really utilize staying off the cage, because his wrestling's next level. So that next fight, we're going to see how it goes, and I'm intrigued to see him get back in there and fight for that gold.
Appreciate the insight, as always, from AJ McKee. We will see him back in the Bellator cage very soon as part of our Bellator Champion Series. Right now, Dan Hardy is with Fabian Edwards in the cage.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm here with your winner, and now the number 1 contender for the middleweight title, Fabian Edwards. Hard-fought victory, but the story was takedown defense and elbows. But I will say, 3 or 4 takedowns, my friend. You're a wrestler now as well?
See, I can do it all. I can do it all, man. Listen, I just want to say, what's up, Belfast? What's up, Belfast? I wanted to put hands on that man, but he turned it into a grappling match, so my bad. I wanted to put elbows and knees on him, but, you know.
You landed some pretty good elbows, my friend. You cut him open, nice short-range elbows. That must have been a part of the game plan coming in, knowing he was going to pressure you like that.
Yeah, we did. So we worked on the inside arm fight. Make sure we stay there sometimes. Even though my corner was telling me to move a lot, but I felt like sometimes I had to hold my feet and put some elbows on him, you know.
And I've got to ask you, obviously Johnny Eblen's next. What's the message for the man?
I'm coming. Listen, in September last year, I was winning that fight. I made the wrong decision. I got caught, but I'm coming.
Ladies and gentlemen, make some noise for Fabian Edwards!